I'm Lisa McCall, physical therapist, posture princess, and I'm a lover of movement. So, what are we going to do today? Butt up the wall. Butt up the wall is a wonderful stretch, movement, posture. It simulates bending. It is, for some people, it's just their hamstring stretch. But little do they know, they're also strengthening their hamstrings, their glutes, their back, realigning their spine, relieving their neck, planting their feet, getting stronger feet, relieving knee pain. Yeah, it's kind of a catch-all thing. So I'm going to show it to you today. The name Butt Up the Wall came from my teacher, Angie Thusius. She is from Honduras, and she invented the name Butt Up the Wall, which I thought was very clever. English is not her first language, and I thought she was really nailing it on what we were doing in Butt Up the Wall by saying you're putting your bottom on the wall. So why? Why would we put our bottom on the wall? Why not just bend well? I call it butt up the air. Well, one of the reasons is because when you do butt up the wall, you are touching the wall with your butt. Yes, and the why is touching your touching the wall with your butt. Why is that important? Well, when I touch my hand or my arm, I have a whole different relationship to this, or if I bend my hand, it's different than if I say I'm going to bend my hand, or if somebody tells you to bend their hand. To bend your hand and have somebody bend it, it's a different sensation, it's a different experience, and it's a different way of using your body in space. Sounds crazy, but touch is a very powerful thing. So you got a lot of butt. You got butt starting at your back, you got butt that ends at your legs, you got butt in between, you got butt on the sides. I mean, as crazy as it sounds, your buttocks has a lot of real estate, whether you're little or big, and where your rear end is on the wall and what part of your rear end is on the wall is extremely important, because it is the piece I want you to feel that is connected to quality bending. And when you bend really well, you have a tremendous amount of joint health. It helps the joints. And let me show you a picture. So this woman is doing a butt up the air, you could say. Just anyway, she lives off the land. You can see that she bends. Her bending is her way of life. Bending is a way of life for many people that work off the land. And because we don't bend well, there are a lot of things that happen to the spine, hips, and structure of the human body. Because I've seen that actually help people with a lot of problems. And I've been doing it my whole adult life, because I started doing this when I was in my early 30s. So we're going to learn butt up the wall. Then you're going to ask me all sorts of questions about it, because I've kind of got the idea in your head. So what's key is that you watch is that I'm going to put the part of my butt that touches the wall is the part of my butt that's connected to my thigh bone. So it's the bottom, and we call it in medicine the gluteal fold. That's where your bottom and your leg meet. That is a really important place for you to get to know experientially, physically. You don't have to know it in your head, you have to know it in your body. And then what I do with the upper butt, where it's connected to the spine, that part of my back is very stable. So if you think of your butt as right next to your spine, that's not the part we're putting on the wall. That's the part that's really, really stable, locked in place. Okay? Lower part is the movie part. Upper part is the very locked in, stable part. It's connected to your sacrum and your lumbar spine, L5, L4. And that L5 vertebra, when it is in place and you have a small sacral arch, it's what it's called, when that's locked in, which it does lock in with the vertebra. When that's locked in, your back is straight and you're real stable, and then you have more fluid movement in that leg butt area. Okay? Here, well, that's enough to talk about. Okay, here we go. John, guess who came in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whoa. All right, so we're going to do butt up the wall. I'm going to do it right here. Babs, come here. There you go. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So in butt up the wall, the first thing I do is I find the groove in my back. I put my fingers in the little gully right there. If I don't have a gully, I make one by sticking my butt out. Because if my back is bumpy like that and I'm bending at the waist, this isn't going to work. The first thing I have to do is stabilize my spine by putting this sacral arch in my back. Then not then, but you want to relax your belly. So there's no tightness in holding. No holding at all. Put my feet, I'm going to put them more than hip width apart. I'm going to put them comfortable apart, shoulder width, maybe more. If you do a little more, it seems to be more comfortable. Toes are slightly turned out. Toes are planted once they're turned out, and my upper thighs, they turn out. So it looks like I'm kind of on a horse, because I got this turnout from right here. Do not crank your knees. Don't try to turn your knees out. They're turning out from here. So I plant my big toe, I soften my knees, I turn my thighs out, I place my fingers on my arch, and I shift 99% of my weight to my heels. Now, my upper back is not supposed to slump. I keep it straight as I can. And so then, what I do is I take my buttocks back and I put my butt on the wall. You'll feel your hamstring stretch. Sometimes what I do is I take my hands, put them on my bottom, and I lift my butt up a little and stick it on the wall. And then rest my arms on the chair. So now, most people are going to feel a stretch in the back of their legs. Great. That's fine. You should not have pain in your back. Your back should be fine. So if you have any pain in your back, you need to make sure you have an arch or you don't have too much of an arch. And if you have too much of an arch, all you do is gently bring your chest down a little. That's all it is. So here you are. You can put your arms on the chair that way, or you can do it this way. It doesn't really matter. But the fact that you're touching the wall with where your leg bone and your tushy meet is very important. You're getting a stretch, you're realigning your hips, you're taking pressure out of your knee, you're getting your back stronger, you're straightening you're learning what a straight back is, and then you come up out of it. So, why is butt up the wall important? Because when I bend over to pick up something, it's a butt up the wall. So why is it important to do on the wall? Like I said before, if I touch the wall with that portion of my buttocks, I know now about this area. I know it from an experience point of view. I can feel it. The hardest part of people learning to bend like that woman I showed you, the hardest part is for them to be okay with their rear end going up. Rear end going up is a very, very strange feeling to many people. They don't mind going about this far and doing a squat. They don't mind doing good mornings with a bar. But to go a little further than that, kind of freaks people out, and that range of motion is not there for most people.